Transurfer and the Transurfing Curious. My name is Renee Garcia and this is TransurfingTV, y'all. Today we are going to talk about the progress from being a pawn to being a queen or king of your reality. If you missed my video, Who Are the Knights at Your Round Table? Check it out. It talks kind of about this. Like, are the people in your life, are the relationships, or even in what I'm about to teach today, the pendulums, right? Are the relationships, people, and pendulums in your life right now, in your reality, are they helping you to be the king or queen that you are? Are they quantum relationships helping you to get up to that high version of yourself or that higher lifeline? Or are they keeping you resonating in a low place because they're dysfunctional? Again, this can be people, this can be personal relationships, this can be pendulums as well. So pendulums really should be approached the same way as we approach relationships, right? Is this good for me or is this bad for me? Is this in line with my quantum me, my quantum queen me? Or is this detrimental to me and I'm kind of a pawn here being used, right? Either again by a pendulum or a person or people or anything really. This can be applied to anything. This is standing back and taking a look at what your reality is made up of and asking yourself, am I a pawn to this reality or am I ruling my reality as a queen? And are these entities either helping me or hurting me? Before I get started, remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me. To enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers, Reality 2.0 Unteachable, down below. Check it out, y'all. Subscribe, follow us on Facebook, do all that super supportive stuff. We appreciate it. Like this video. So, pawn to a queen or pawn to a king. So, for those of you that know me and have listened to me ramble on about my life, I grew up in a very dysfunctional, I had a very dysfunctional childhood. And I was a pawn in a lot of ways. I wasn't programmed to believe that I could be good or I could be something or that I had power or that I had virtue, right? I was sort of, I don't want to say, my life was based on faulty pretenses, but it kind of was. It kind of was. And here's the thing. When you're born into a certain environment where, let's say, and I know a lot of people that find transurfing have talked about, going through these dysfunctional childhoods or not being wanted, kind of being the ignored child, all that kind of stuff. I think there's a reason why I hear this story a lot. It's because if you get to this mode, right, queen or king mode, if you get to this mode, ruling your reality, being the queen or the king of your reality, there is an empowerment there that, in my opinion, occurs from waking up to the idea that this has maybe happened to you or is happening to you, right? It's like the physics of the pendulum swing. If you never feel an extreme way in a bad direction, your swing is never going to reach this. So it's kind of like, in order for you to get here, and I'm not saying this is the case for everybody by any means. I know this is a generalization. But in order to get here, I think a lot of people that have found transurfing and have gotten here were once here and they woke up and they realized it, right? This is the pawn version of you, the version of you that's pendulum food, right? The version of you that's living another's reality. This is a big one. So remember that if you are familiar with the Tufte book, when Vadim Zeland talks about mannequins, right? What a mannequin essentially is it is a person. It is a person that has not woken up to their reality. I see myself and I see my reality, and they're just kind of like existing on the scripts created by others or by pendulums, and they're colorless, right? They're colorless people that don't really think for themselves. This is, and I know this sounds super like, God, are you are you looking down on people? But the majority of our reality is in mannequin mode. They really, really are. And the majority of our world is in mannequin mode. So the reason that this happens is because of the pendulum scripts or other people's scripts or programming layered on top of these people at a young age, right? This is your lot in life. This is what you've got. This is how it is, right? You've got to work for somebody else to make a living. You've got to do this. You got to have your life unfold like this. All that sort of programming that layers on top of us. This is a collective reality, right? That a lot of people adhere to. And again, it doesn't really serve everyone. For some people, it's good, right? But for a lot of people, it's not. And that's why we have unhappiness levels at the height they are, is because a lot of people are living another's reality or a society's reality or a pendulum's reality, right? So my third point here, and this is all my own personal stuff. This is just what I've experienced. This is the pawn version of me. This is what it's like, right? So third, not taking action in the direction of my intentions or my goals. Again, somebody convincing me, maybe a romantic partner, that I couldn't do that, right? I'm not good enough. Or why don't you just get a job at doing something like this? I was living and working a very, very lower layer of reality for a lot of years of my adulthood, and taking minimum wage jobs and not really trying to dial in to what my true goals were or my intentions. I was always looking to my external environment for cues of what I should do. Now, I'll give myself a little bit of credit. I didn't know that I could do this, right? But now I know, right? So now you know too, if you're struggling and you are in pawn version of you, it's like, okay, you can give yourself a free pass because you didn't know in the past that you could be the queen or the king of your reality and access these higher lifelines, but now you do know, right? Now you do know. So 4 here, continuing to make excuses, blame, and not accept accountability. So here's the thing. I know that reality creation's a little tricky because there is a little bit of irritation, I want to say, by this idea that we are truly accountable. And a lot of people say, well, I was abused as a child. How can I possibly be accountable for that? Okay, so maybe there are exceptions, right? If you experience some extreme, unfortunate circumstances, no, you weren't accountable for that, but you are accountable for continuing to resonate with that. You are accountable for continuing to make excuses to create your own reality because you come from this place, right? Or well, I can't do this because these people in my life did this and I'm angry or whatever. It's that looking back and not asking yourself am I truly taking accountability for my frequency right now and acting in the direction that's going away from those events, right? Going away from those events. So the pawn version of me definitely makes excuses, blames, and doesn't accept accountability. That's what I did for a lot of years. And then once I realized what it was that I was doing, then that's when those sectors sort of diverge, right? Because at a certain point, if I have woken up to the fact that I have been playing the pawn, that I am in the presence of dysfunctional relationships, and I am pendulum food, and I am living other people's realities, not my reality, and I'm not taking action in the direction of my intentions and goals. I know that they exist now, right? And I'm continuing to make excuses and blame and not accept or take accountability and all that stuff. And I know now that there are these two different versions, there are these two different modes, and I continue to complain that my reality is not what I want it to be, then it is my fault, right? Then it is my fault. Then it is on me. Those initial events, those initial ways that people abused you or used you, or, you know, maybe you were a pawn in a divorce with parents. Maybe, you know, you've been married to somebody for a number of years that has kept you around for reasons that aren't good for you. Maybe enabling, you enable them, or there's some sort of codependency there, or whatever it is. It's all cool. But if you see it and you don't wake up now to your ability to kick into this mode and let this version of you go, then you are accountable, right? So what is this mode exactly? Well, this is queen mode or king mode. This is the queen version of me. This version of me manages my pendulums, including my relationships. I look for quantum relationships now. I do not allow myself to exist in dysfunctional relationships anymore. Period. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter how long they've been around. I don't do this anymore. I look for people that acknowledge the higher version of me. I do not ever surround myself with people that want to keep reminding me of this version of me or the lower version of me. I only accept people into my reality that see the higher version of me and help that version of me continue to get to these and stay up on these higher lifelines. So I manage my pendulums, I manage my relationships, no dysfunctional relationships, quantum relationships only. I rule my reality. So instead of living somebody else's reality, this is my reality. This is my reality. I'm not going to live someone else's reality or a collective's reality or society's reality. I am creating my own reality today. The queen version of me stays tuned into what is good for me. What is good for me, not what is good for other people, not what is good for the family, not what is good for whoever I have been serving. It's okay to serve, right? But make sure that deal that you got going with the pendulum is at least equal, if not you getting more. Don't ever give more, and the pendulum or whatever it is that you're serving is getting more than you're getting. In that scenario, you are not staying tuned into what is good for you. You're actually tuning out of what's good for you, and you're tuning into what is good for the pendulum. And the pendulum likes to convince us of that, right? Let's call a spade a spade. The pendulum is 100% about convincing us that we should take the short end of the stick and we should remain in this mode rather than tapping into this mode. Pendulums do not like this, right? Pendulums do not like this. finally, the queen version of me, and I know this is harsh for a lot of people to accept at first, but once you really, really do dive into this saying, I am the problem and I am the solution, this is you ruling your reality. Queens or kings do not make excuses, blame, not accept accountability. Queens and kings do what they can with what it is they've got in that moment to rule, right? They are going to view their domain as under their power, and that starts with me. That starts with them. That starts with the king. That starts with the queen, right? That it's up to me. So practically what this means is, okay, let's say there's something about my reality that I don't like. Let's say a dysfunctional relationship. I'm not going to say, well, you do this and you do that and I don't like this and you're guilty of this, and I say, no, I am a queen and I'm going to handle myself like a queen. If this is not good for me and my reality, I'm the one ruling my reality, I cut it off, right? It's gone. It's out of my layer of reality. I do not continue to engage and interact in a way, because this is me in this version of me, I do not continue to engage and interact in a way where I am not taking ultimate authority. I am the authority for my reality. I rule my reality. I am the problem and I am the solution. So anything that is going wrong, anything that's off balance, anything that's not right, I bring to the solution the fact that I am at least 50% of the problem. Therefore, I can just remove myself from that problem and start creating solution, right? Start highlighting the solution rather than continuing to engage with whatever is on the other side of that equation in a dysfunctional way, which again results in energy loss, right? This is all energy loss. This is all dysfunctional relationships, energy loss, pendulum food, keeping all your actions sort of low, so you just exist on these lower lifelines in a way where you're not ruling your reality. You're not creating your own reality. This is me taking myself out of whatever is extracting my energy from me dictating what I give my energy to, and me staying tuned in to what is good for me and ruling my reality. So for those of you that missed that video, who are the knights at your round table, definitely check that one out. And let me know your thoughts on this one, everybody. Are you in this mode? Or are you in this mode? And how has transurfing helped you maintain this level of reality? This is a much better place to exist, wouldn't you agree? So let me know your thoughts on this one, everybody. And thank you so much for watching my video. Bye, guys.